You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
We're firstly going to be speaking to Steve, a Children's Centre network manager for some of the children's centres here on the island. He'll be telling us more about that. But firstly, Steve, welcome along to the show.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. It's great to be here.
I was wondering if you could perhaps tell us a little bit more about your role.
Yeah, because it's quite an impressive title, isn't it? Children's Centre Network Manager. I'm still trying to work out what it actually means. But what I understand it to be and what the role is, there are 4 children's centres on the Isle of Sheppey. I think there's 97 across the county. But there's, say, 4 directly on the island. There's Seashells down at Sheerness. And the 3 that I manage are Lilypad, Laysdown and Beaches Children's Centre, which is Queenborough, Rushenden, Minster and then Laysdown, Borden.
So what actually is a children's centre?
Children's centres, every now and again government will have one of these really good ideas, and one of their brilliant ideas was to set up a network of places for children aged 0 to 5. And it's a place where all the professionals can sort of network together. So we've got midwives, health visitors, we've got people from early years, sort of all trying to help these kids have the best start in life they possibly can. We do events for the kids, we do events for the parents, and it's just a great place on the island for kids to grow up, to think, yeah, actually, I can become something really great in my life, and we can help support that.
Steve, what types of things happen in them?
There's always something different going on throughout the day. So I mentioned just now we have midwives and health visitors that come in and hold clinics there. We've had speech and language therapists come in, hold clinics. But we also run groups for parents and for their kids. So we may have a messy play session where the kids can do sort of handprints and sort of footprints and all sorts of prints. Or they'll be playing with gloop and various fun activities for the kids. We have music sessions with the little ones. So there's a whole range of things that go on.
So what are your main priorities?
We've got a mission statement, which is that we work in partnership with families, encouraging aspirations, empowering progress and supporting the development of healthy, safe and happy children. And that's our kind of overarching aims. And we've got sort of targets like increasing breastfeeding, reducing the amount of kids that end up in hospital due to accidents, reducing childhood obesity, but also things around employability and giving volunteers opportunity to come and do some work within the community, within the Children's Centre.
Steve, are dads welcome?
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, I'm one of a few blokes who work within children's centres. We do mainly have sort of mums coming in with the kids, but really want to promote dads using the children's centres as well. There's a group down in Sheerness for dads, and that's called Daddy Call, and that runs on a Saturday morning between 9:30 and 11:30. But there's also stuff we can do at the other 3 children's centres. If families say to us, yeah, we really want to do some stuff where dads can come along on a Saturday morning, give me a shout and I'm sure we can try and arrange something.
So what about the wider family, Steve?
Yeah, wider family, say it's not just for biological mum, biological dad, it's open to the whole family. So I used to run a dad's group, and I put one of the leaflets that it's for dads, and eventually one mum said to me, oh, Steve, she said, my partner would really like to come along to that, but he's not my little one's dad. And it got me thinking about how we word things. So I then wrote a little leaflet that's saying about who was invited and what we meant by dad. And it was biological dads, it's stepdads, it's an uncle, it's a granddad. So it's really anybody that's got an influence in that kid's life and can really help them have the best start.
I know you wanted to talk about activities in the school holidays.
Yeah, I do. The first sort of thing I really want to tell you about is all this week, weather permitting, I hasten to add. I mean, it's a beautiful day out there today, but who knows what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow we've got a Teddy Bears picnic, which is held at the Beaches Children's Centre, and that's from 11:30 through to 1:30. And then on Wednesday, we're doing a similar thing in Queenborough. And then on Thursday, similar thing, Lapwing Close play area. They're all 11:30 through to 1:30, but they really are weather dependent. The only one we can get away with doing in the rain is the one at Beaches, the other 2 weather dependent. And also, we've got the summer holidays coming up. We do want to know what parents who've got kids who are aged 0 to 5, but also maybe one who's up to the age of 8, some of the things that we can do that can involve the whole family during the school holidays. So if you've got a little one aged 0 through to 8 years old, again, give us a shout and let us know the sorts of things that we can do to help.
And I know you also wanted to cover volunteering at your local centre as well, Steve.
Yeah, we've got a good core of volunteers at the moment, but there's always room for some other people to volunteer. There's real benefits with volunteering. It gives people opportunity to find out about the work that we do. It gives them experience to put on their CV. It also gives them access to training that they might not otherwise be able to get. What do we get out of it? Well, we get some help running the groups and supporting the community locally. We really want our children's centres to be run by local families, for local families, and volunteering is a great way. Obviously, people that want to volunteer, there's a recruitment process and there's the CRB checks to go through, but all that stuff we will handle because we just want to see people equipped and trained to work with their own children in the community.
Before you go, Steve, I was just wondering if you could refresh us on anything you'd like to, and also give us some of those useful contact details as well.
Yeah, sure. Children's centres, they're there for children and families aged 0 to 5, and there's 4 across the island. There's Seashells in Sheerness, you've got Lilypad in Minster, Ladybird in Queenborough Rushenden, and Beaches up this end of the island, Laysdown. And if you want to find us, perhaps the easiest thing to do, it's a really complicated email address, but if I just tell you to Google Beaches Children's Centre Sheppey, that will call up the first hit. Click on that and follow the links through. But if you have got a pen and paper handy, then the telephone number to try and get hold of us is 01795 511 228. That's 511 228. You can download our newsletter from the website or ask for the office and they'll send one out to you.
Steve, I'd like to thank you very much for coming along this evening and telling us all about the children's centres locally here on the island.
Thanks so much for the invite.
That's Steve right here at BRFM 95.6.